I go out of the kitchen, I don't have my contact lenses on, and he's just like, harumph, and he's sitting there like this. I go, well, you didn't eat your dinners. What's going on? And I look down, and I look at the back door, and the Ho Chi Minh Trail of ants are coming through the back door, all the way across the kitchen floor that I had just washed, and into the cat food. So the cat food had 1 million of them, and I'm apologizing to the ants for, guys, this is the wrong, you don't want to be here. So I've got my broom, and I'm sweeping them out the door, and I'm thinking, God, what a way to start. I haven't even washed my face or put my contact lens. I'm like, wait a minute. You don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Did you ever start like that? Oh, gotta stop myself. I don't want to go into, we could awfulize all day long, and what happens? All our energy goes then, right? And everything on that vibration starts magnifying for us. So I said, oh, no. I'm not going to start that. And remember, ants mean patience. And I said, okay, I understand. I need a little more patience. So I'll just have to pay attention to being patient. So I'm blessing the ants, and I'm sending them on their way, and I'm spraying my Zevo spray, which I'm so sick of the smell of peppermint, I can't even tell you. But at any rate, I'm saying, okay, now I'm blessing everything, and I'm telling you, within like 10 minutes they were gone. And I'm like, okay, what was that message? Thank you, messengers, for telling me that. And they needed to send a whole bunch of them, I guess. So sometimes we listen, don't we? We have to pay attention. So religious science tells us to know right where we are, spirit is. It's not out there. It's not something we pray to. It's something that we pray with. It's something that we are. We are created. This morning, there's no coincidence. This morning in our study group, we were talking about the infinite creation of how it's stated in the Bible, in the beginning was the Word, and all was made of the Word. So think about what it means that God existed and said, I want to create more of life. I want to experience more of life. So he created all sorts of life forms, plants, animals, birdies, everything. And he also created humans. And the unique thing that he gave to humans was volition. And volition just means choice. And it meant that God expressing and experiencing through us has this experience of more of itself. And if you think steps of prayer treatment, the first 2 steps are knowing that God is one, realizing, recognizing there's one power in the universe, and that power created everything. But the magic happens when I connect the dots and say, it not only is God, is everything, I'm made of that. So I have everything, every aspect of God in me to create whatever it is that I desire. I have this free volition of choice. And you think to yourself, if I have free volition of choice and I can create whatever I want, why in the heck would I create these sticky situations that I've created for myself? Did you ever wonder that? Like, wow, what is going on? And all it is it goes back to thought. Remember, there's a perfect pattern of everything. There's a perfect pattern at the center of everything that you are. And that's God. It's your God self expressing. Now sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes my God self is expressing wonderfully and I can go, and everything's wonderful. And other days it's like, yeah, ta-da, all right, I'll give you a ta-da. Because things don't go right all the time, right? And it's like, guess what? At every moment, we're a choice to direct our thought. And whatever we direct our thought will create our experience. Now that doesn't mean stuff doesn't happen. Stuff does. This is life. This is an earth suit that we're in, and we're here to learn these lessons. And what are those lessons? It's about deepening our understanding of our God power, right? So when I dial into that sense, that every thought, every act, everything that I'm doing is putting an instruction out to the universe, I have to then start to be a little more careful about what I'm right or what I'm feeling, right? Now we may look in the mirror and go, oh my goodness, I look like I've been riding a horse for 20 hours or something, right? But instead you go, snap out of that. There's not a word of truth in that. That's the look in the mirror and I love myself, or try this right now. Give yourself a big hug. Hug yourself this morning. Say, I love you. You gotta do it and you gotta wiggle. I mean, it's important. I love you. And when you do that, it's like your body goes, oh, you do. Oh, because I think you were going, oh God, my feet are killing me, or oh, my back, and oh man, I got more wrinkles, or whatever it is. We're so critical about stuff. No, we wake up with, I love you. I really love you. And when you do that, that power sets you zooming out into the experience of life being, because if you're preoccupied with all the stuff that's not working, where's your energy, right? So remember, I don't always always get what I'm looking for, but I get what I'm looking with. I get what I'm looking with. If I'm looking at the glass half empty, if I'm looking at, oh wow, these things aren't working out, what happens? We were digging in the garden, and let me tell you, it's a challenge. It is still a challenge, and I'm knowing that I have a helper here. Yesterday, when I was digging, Jose, our gardener, was here, and his wife were here, and they were adorable, and they dug all that stuff. He's like, wow, I am tired. And we transplanted a thing. I was transplanting all this stuff, and I said, God, I wish Maria was here. I'd love to pick her brain, and I want her to help me. I want her to help me. I swear to God, this is true. She pulls up in the parking lot. The sun's shining. I can't see, and somebody goes, hi, Reverend Mary. I go, oh, hi. And I'm like, I better go see. I didn't even see who it was. And I go, Maria, you're a godsend. I was just thinking in my mind, I wish you were here. Boom, she pulls up. I'm like, oh, there is a divine expression of God happening here. And we chatted about the plants a bit, and we will chat more. But it's like, it's stuff like that, where you get that confirmation of like, oh, God, I guess you are listening, aren't you? Did you ever have that happen? When things happen for the good, and you go, oh, wow, pretty cool. It really does work out, doesn't it? Well, guess what? It can work out that way all the time. What's stopping it? Us. Our thinking stops it. Our stinking thinking stops it, right? Our thinking that says, oh, this isn't right. Every moment that we're living, we're developing an attitude about life. Every moment that we're alive, we're developing an attitude about life. And I don't know about you. Of course, there's nobody in this room. But you know anybody that's kind of got that woe is me, that Eeyore kind of thinking, you know, of like, oh my gosh, everything's awful. God, nothing's working out for good. Nothing works out. How can you believe in this teaching? Nothing works out. I'm like, oh, everything's working out exactly as you planned. Where's your thinking? Shift it. And I thought, well, you know what? Hey, that doesn't mean stuff doesn't happen. And it doesn't mean that we get in those spots where, I mean, think of the poor New York Yankees yesterday that got their tails whooped 18-2 in a game. I thought, man, I felt so sorry for that one pitcher. He actually had a smirk on his face at one point when the guy hits the 3-run home run and brings it to 18-2. You're like, oh my gosh. And I thought, you know what? He's praying to his God too to win, right? And I thought, well, something's coming of this. Something comes of all of it, and it's something good. Say, something good is coming out of this. What have you done? You've already made a declaration of what's happened. You've set the table for yourself already, right? Depend on the divine power within you. That's all this teaching says. Remember, it's what we're initiating in our thought. Now, we're here to discover it. God in me is greater than anything that happens in the world. And whatever I encounter, the opportunity to dial into that love, that power of God, that understanding that, hey, God and I are a force to be reckoned, things actually shift. So there's a story about a man with his son, and they're walking down a path, and they're hiking. And they come across on the trail this really giant, right, and this really giant rock. And the little boy says to his dad, hey, Dad, do you think if I used all my strength and mind, all my positive attitude, do you think I could move that rock in front of me? And the dad goes, yes, I think if you used all your strength, you rock. So the little boy goes down, and he pushes against the rock and pushes against the rock, and he goes, you're wrong. I can't push that rock. I can't do it. I can't move it by myself. And he goes, no, I said if you use all your strength. And part of using all your strength is asking for help. Think about that for a minute. Part about using your strength is about asking for help. And where do you ask for help? You go within. You say, you know what? I can't figure my way out of a paper bag right now, but I need help. And I'm knowing the power of God knows. See, you see how ridiculous it is to go to God with a problem? God looks and says, are you kidding? You're everything. You're all. You're perfection. Your perfect health, your perfect life, your perfect ideas, you're everything. Instead, we should go to the stuff we're encountering with our power of God and say, hey, guess what? You're no power for the power that I have within me. There's nothing that can stop or block me. And so I'm going to the problem and saying, look at, we can absolutely work through this. There is an answer. I don't need to know. I just need to know it's available and make myself allow divine action to occur in my experience. But sometimes, I don't know about you, but we roll up our sleeves and say, okay, I got to do this. It's me or nobody. It's it. I'm in. I'm going to sweep those ants out the door if it isn't me. But guess what? I'm like, all right, I'm blessing you all. And I tried to talk to him. I tried to tell him, you know what? This ain't the place to be. You want to go out there. There's a lot of great flowers out there. I swept them out. And guess what? In 10 minutes, they were gone. Now, I did use some spray, but I mean, I didn't use the spray on them. I sprayed it on cotton balls and put it around the house, around the kitchen floor. But I thought, you know what? And cotton balls are God too, right? And so is Zevo. So is all that stuff. But the deal is you deal with it at hand and go, you know what? There's an answer. There's an answer here. I don't have to figure it out. I'm just going to be in. You'll get an intuitive, remember, intuition is the voice of God. You'll get an intuitive interpretation of what should I do today to create the experience that I want if it isn't going my way. Every single thought that we have is either a possibility or a limitation. Every single thought. And that means everything. You're putting on your shoes, you're getting dressed, you've got to go somewhere. Whatever, something's going wrong with your car, something's going wrong in your relationship, you're in an argument with someone, whatever it is, everything is either a possibility or a limitation. And the moment we say, it's a possibility, it's a possibility. How can I bless it, and how did this circumstance come to bless me? If you look at any challenge and say, I am being blessed by this, it is waking me up to crack me open, to open up the light within me. Just say, what am I here to learn from this? What's the experience? And then get on with it. Just get on with it. Because sometimes we like to marinate in the problem. I don't know about you, but you ever think about stuff? You ever think about stuff? Oh, look, we have a crow that's watching our lesson. He's on the roof. He's been sitting there walking back and forth. Now he's walking to the end going, I don't know, maybe, okay. Thinking into limits means that you have to do it all on your own. But thinking into possibility means that you get help from that higher power that's within you. It's within you. Change the consciousness that created the issue, and the issue will change. You go, huh? How do I change the way I'm thinking about something? And that person is a jerk, and they've always been a jerk, and I don't want to be around them because they're a jerk, and that's the way it is. Well, guess what? They're always going to be a jerk in your experience. There will always be a jerk because you thought of them as a jerk. So if you bless them and you say, you know what? Not a word of truth in that. I'm going to know you're going through your own experience. You don't have to be in their presence if they're being jerky, but you can bless them and not have the judgment about them being whatever it is they are as an irritation to you, and move on. So every time I think I'm putting a law into motion, we talked about that at our discussion group this morning. The law is God in action. So there's God, this infinite universal intelligence that's all everything, and it's us as well. But that it created a divine medium, and that medium is the law. I always liken it to a petri dish, that we put our hand in the petri dish, and the law is the thing that receives our impress, right? And then that takes it and says, oh, is that what you want? I think there's the guy from Tut. I don't know if any of you get Tut affirmations, but Tut is shake it, bake it, mix it, and go. Shake it, bake it, or mix it, shake it, bake it, and go. And it's like, that's our thought. That's our thought, always going into motion. And we're putting things into that law, that creative law. And so think about it. If you're getting an experience that you want or don't want, how did it happen? Because you put it into the law of mind. That's God in action, creating everything for you. So think about something. So say you have financial difficulties. Say you have a health problem. What's the truth of it? Is the truth of it that you have financial difficulties? No. That's just a fact right in that moment. Is the truth of it that you have a health challenge? No. That's just a fact right here and now. What's the truth? You're a divine, whole, perfect expression of God in every aspect. So how do you undo the thinking, right? Especially when you have a doctor, or you have your financial statements, or you have a friend that's yelling at you, or whatever it is. Say, how do you undo that? You think the opposite. You absolutely think the opposite. Remember, was that 2 weeks ago that we thought about a goose in a jar? Did we think about a goose in a jar? Well, let's think about a goose in a jar again then, because it'll help us. Okay, now I want to imagine a long-spouted glass vase, beautiful, tall, about that tall. Long spout with a round bottom. Now I want you to picture a goose in that vase, and its little neck is stretched all the way up in that thing, and its little beak is right there. And you need to get him out of that vase. How are you going to get him out of that vase? You're going to think him out, because that's how you got him in. Think about that the next time you have a thought that you're struggling with. Go, wait a second, I thought my way into this, and if you thought your way into it, you can think your way out of it. And it's the same with anything. So all of a sudden, instead of having a financial difficulty, think about your abundance. You may go, oh, I have a lot of abundance. Well, guess what? You got food in your cabinet, you got clothes in your drawer, you've got a garden out in front, there are a million birds singing outside. Think about all of the things that are abundant in your life and focus on the abundance. And what happens? What we focus on expands. So it all opens up into this great thing. Think about your health. You got a health challenge. Say something's really going on and you've got the diagnosis, you've got all this stuff. Is it the truth of who you are? The truth of who you are is that you're a whole, perfect, and complete being. You are already the ideal of health. Now you may be experiencing something that's not ideal. So what do? Focus on goodness. Say you've got something going on with your gallbladder. Get a picture of a healthy gallbladder and look at it every day. Say, God bless my gallbladder. I was dealing with a friend with the gallbladder thing. I said, God bless your gallbladder. She's like, what? Get a picture of your gallbladder. See a picture of it. See the perfect health. Picture your doctor coming in and going, guess what? I think I told you I had a friend that had COPD. She had been diagnosed, all sorts of stuff was going on. She was on medication, and she decided to take action. She started to do Tai Chi. She started to volunteer. She started to help with different things. She started to go on walks. She started to go have fun with her life because she had been working her whole life and everything was kind of a dredge. She decided to really put her efforts into it. True story. She got back, she sent it to me, and she went to her doctor, and her doctor said, she went to a pulmonologist, and she has to check in every 6 months. And he writes back, he goes, well, da-da-da-da-da, giving her all the report of this, this was positive, and no evidence of COPD. Quite remarkable. And she went in, I have goosebumps. Every time I story, I have goosebumps. True story. And she's like, I go, what'd you do? And she goes, I put my mind and said, no, I got a lot of life to live. I want to get going here. And so she did things a little bit different. So it's like sometimes we want change, but we want to keep doing everything the way we did it and everything else to just change. And it doesn't work that way. It means, guess what? The thinking that you had may have served you at that point. It's time to let it go. So it's time to think about when you're saying, ta-da, what are some of the things I need to let go of that have been holding me back? Or they may have worked for a while, but they're not working right now. Just examine them and say, where do I need to shift? Where do I need to start changing my thinking? I have a lot of friends that are on the keto diet now. And they're like, they don't eat like a lot of stuff. We know another gal that eats solid protein all the time and doesn't eat carbs at all. Now, eating carbs when you were growing up, whatever you were doing may have worked, but it means that sometimes we have to change things in order to get the results that we want. And they may have worked for a while. Everything is attracting by divine right action. Everything is. Because we're initiating the power of spirit at every moment to support or feed whatever it is that we're knowing as the truth about ourselves. What am I knowing as the truth about myself? Let divine right action come through. I'm going to go through to the very end. I love Wayne Dyer always change the way you think, look at things, and the things you look at will change. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change, right? If you can think like that in every aspect of it, everything will change. Your attitude will feel lighter, and you'll feel it in your body. You will definitely feel it through your body. Because remember, we create through our belief system. That's how we create. So I'm going to read this poem. I think I've read this a long time ago, but I'm just going to read this because I need it. Next time you refuse to sing because you'll never fill a stadium, or decline the joy of a dance, fear of looking ridiculous, or you resist risking taking a new adventure because you're not entirely ready, or you dim your shine because you're not completely healed or whole. Next time, hold your set because you're not entirely qualified. Just remember, a bird doesn't sing because it's talented. A bird sings because it has a song. The moon doesn't only shine when it's whole. It can show up with a single sliver of itself and still light up the entire night sky. Show up, sing, shine. The world needs you, just as you are. Think about that. So now, this time, go tell yourself a story that empowers you. Go tell yourself a story that really makes you feel full and whole and complete and empowered to create whatever it is you want in the morning and go, ta-da! And so it is. And now we have our gracious soloist again.